After 1,000 Arab men and North African men sexually assaulted dozens of women in Cologne, a German city, on New Year's Eve, its mayor, Henrietta Riker, has a solution. She told women to stick together. Don't get split up, even if you're in a party mood. Well, thanks for that, Henrietta. And when terrorists start shooting into clubs, be sure and wear bulletproof vests. When suicide bombers try to blow up a restaurant, wear body armor at dinner, especially on your head, even if it means taking your bouillabaisse through a straw. Ah, yes, the European version of assimilation. Instead of arrivals acclimating to its host city, it's the citizen that must bend to the mob. And what's the best an emasculated Europe can do? Hey, women, watch out for the rapists. Travel in groups like that stopped them before. At least 60 victims were sexually violated by the encircling, angry goons. And it was planned. The men tossed firecrackers into the crowd as another pile of fiends assaulted the distracted women. If this sounds familiar, it should. The Arab Spring was a rape fest as mobs isolated and assaulted women. No one got arrested. Now this practice somehow has been exported to Germany. So is this behavior the product of a misogynistic system that sees women as chattel, forced to dress, behave, and obey according to men? Well, ask any prominent American feminist. She'd probably say no. After all, these men aren't Republicans. So, Kimberly, we always hear that we have a rape culture. You know, this is absolutely horrible, and it was covered up for 3 days.
Yep. Yeah, that's the thing that's so upsetting about it. Like, where was the press on this? Why wasn't something like this leaked? You know, but I mean, perhaps they wanted to. Somebody called somebody. I don't believe this was like a coincidence in terms of covering it up, not letting the public know about it. It's obviously horrific, shameful behavior that's going on, and the fact that they would try and not let the public know. Like, it's a public safety issue to me. You have to get it out there, and you have to let them know what's going on so people can protect themselves.
Right.
And have the facts. I mean, give me a break. But the first thing you have to do is try and shut it down by having people be involved and aware.
Exactly. Dana, maybe what her tip was meant was earnest, but it's basically she's saying, mind your provocative behaviors, not to the guys, like, stop doing this.
I mean, yeah, right, exactly. She probably regrets saying it or the way that it came out, because I think in her mind, she was thinking she was just trying to provide smart, good guidance to women. Instead, it's like, really, have we come this far as women in the world, in Western societies, where we are about to have a presidential candidate in the United States of America, the first woman presidential candidate, and we now are actually saying that you should blame the woman for her behaviors, to assimilate to the mob? That, I think it is outrageous. Also, the mob understands what it's doing. They are taking advantage of Western weakness and Western tolerance. And someone has to stand up for Western values. And if Angela Merkel and the mayor of Cologne are not going to do it, who is?
Take away her, what did she get, Time magazine? Person of the Year.
Yeah.
Take it away.
That was back in the good old days. Eric, according to the Telegraph, which is a UK paper, I think 1 or 2 suspects have already claimed to be of Syrian refugees. So this, I mean, Europe's in bad shape.
Europe. And Dana points out Western. Can I isolate Europe as part of the Western? So the open border policy in Europe, where you can travel from country to country.
Terrible.
Technically, you don't need a passport. They're trying to tighten some of those things up. But that migrant population, they're calling these guys migrants. Well, refugees and migrants. All the more reason to be very, very careful how fast you allow 10 or 200,000 Syrian refugees into this country. Allegedly, up until this point, allegedly, there was a lot of rapes going on, right? The refugees and the migrants, but they were Muslims raping Muslim women. How long before it spreads to the Germans, or how long if they're
That's
here?
what happened on New Year's Eve.
Right, and how long before it becomes an epidemic? This may be an isolated incident. Hopefully it is, but how long before it becomes epidemic? Like anything, like any virus, once you introduce the virus to the host, the virus spreads.
But I mean, it's already been introduced. Yet, remember Rotherham? We talked about that. That was the child rape scandal in, I think it was 2010. 1,400 children abused by gangs of British Pakistani men. But Juan, the politicians seem very, very preoccupied with the hate speech that goes on after a terrorist attack, more so than these physical assaults. Am I wrong?
No, I think that it's a legitimate concern, though. I mean, we're talking about Germany. We're talking about a country with a history here of, you know, isolating, alienating, belittling people, and then, of course, we know the rest of the story. So I think that they have a legitimate concern. What Angela Merkel said was, you know what, I'm open. This country should not have a problem
Right.
with legitimate refugees coming in and seeking some kind of asylum. The problem is a criminal problem, and Merkel has come out and said very directly this will not be tolerated and that they will enforce the law and stop it. I think that message is, to me, more important than somehow feeding people who want to say this is the basis now for treating the migrants as bad people as a whole. That's a mistake.
This is a problem. This was a practice that came from another part of the world that is now here.
And I just feel like we have to just clarify. So the Nazis said that Jewish men were attacking women.
Yes.
And it was false. This actually, we know that this actually happened.
It's true.
This is not false to try to hurt the migrant community. This actually happened, and it was perpetrated by the migrant community.
The question is, you know, it's similar, exactly the historical point that you just raised. The question is this now a widespread incident, or was it a one-time or a few times?
We don't know.
Eric's talking about which women are being
attacked.
attacked.
Early to make that.
Correct.
Well, there are other
I'm saying.
instances elsewhere. I want to get to this, the second layer. We've heard this today about a man with a knife was shot dead approaching a Paris police station. He was carrying a knife, and he was wearing a fake explosive vest. He was carrying a knife. He walked up to the police station, and he yelled, "Allah Akbar," and they killed him. My theory, Dana, this is my kind of martyr. I think that this is a great thing. I think that this guy should be saluted because he decided to martyr himself. He knew he was going to die. He committed suicide, and he didn't take anybody. All ISIS martyrs should follow this.
Okay.
No, seriously.
No, I hear you. So it was suicide by cop.
Yes.
Okay. But what kind, like, how many resources are we going to have to deploy so that we could deal with martyrs?
Set up a martyr center. A martyr center where you can come with, when you can, at the brink, and you can come with your knife, and but you saw what he did, Eric.
Put a big screen TV in a square so that everyone can watch it, and let everyone know at 4 o'clock, come and martyr yourself. And you realize he didn't.
Look at Juan's upset. He's like,
oh, great idea.
Look, I tell you what.
Okay.
You know what?
Man.
Yes, tell me.
Go in a hide in a closet. If you want to go kill yourself, go ahead. But don't put cops in danger. Don't put us in danger. Get away from me.
He stood in front of a police station with a knife and a fake vest. Clearly, he wanted to die, and he didn't take anybody with him.
Well, he's just
I
not
want all
good at
terrorists
it.
to be like
he's
that.
Not good. He's an ISIS reject or something.
Yeah.
But we have his name and picture.
Can we?
And he's no martyr to me. I got to tell you that. This is a jerk.
No, he found the Nirvana loophole.
Yeah, well, go
do it. This is the Nirvana loophole.
Juan, you really went on a ledge there. He's a jerk.
Well, I don't have any respect for this person.
Whoa, take it easy, Juan. You're getting really crazy.
I mean, we were talking a moment ago about the German situation and hate speech. So that mayor that you guys were criticizing because of what she said, and Dana said maybe it didn't come out the right way, that woman was stabbed by somebody who was an anti-immigrant activist, right? And so you see these people now, they take their position and then advance in terms of violence. I'm never going to embrace that.
No, but you see my point, Juan. Compared to what happened in Paris.
I get it. Yes.
Compared to other terror acts, this guy at least killed himself and didn't kill other people. I'm for that.
Well, he put people in danger.
And we have said that, whether it's school shootings or anything else, just stay home and do yourself in. Leave the innocents alone.
It was suicide by cop. It's not an uncommon thing. All right. It's an unusual theory, I admit.